This one? Never mind, it's pretty fucking cool. How does a mistake like this even happen?
And it's like super hot too.
This guy is gonna pull his fucking face out of there and he's gonna look like Red Skull from the Avengers. Come on! We can fucking do this! Is there just a fireman on the other side of that wall shooting a hose through and hitting him with it? That should help. Is that the end? Oh god! How is this happening? Oh lord, it's coming in again! Like a fucking submarine malfunction. You can do this! It's like when you hit a fire hydrant in GTA. Just turn the water off. Is this even a plumber? Is this just like your neighbor who said he can fix it? Even I know how to handle this. Come on! Here we are, we're back in the helm. Grandma's got the old wet vac out. That ought to fix it. Alright, it looks like we finally got her under control, I think. But you can never be... It's steaming. The water is so hot, it is fucking steaming. That guy is not getting out without third-degree burns. And even worse, it's being filmed. So he's getting burned and losing his job soon. Fucking rough. He is actually just getting reduced to ash in there. He's being cremated by the sink. Looks like we finally got it, though. Alright, now that we've boiled half the bathroom, looks like we're finally good. Nope. Spoke too soon? Every step she takes makes like a puddle of water blast out from her footsteps. Jesus Christ. It's like a Naruto running across. Oh god! Get out of there quick! You're in the danger zone! No! The rivers of hell have been unleashed again! Damn you! Quick! Grandma, get in there with the vacuum! Christ! We got a code red! Holy shit! Oh no!
They need to cut the water off.
Let's get another vacuum in here. Two's better than one. And maybe another plumber. Because a real plumber is better than whoever this guy is. Jesus fucking Christ. It's like a ride at Universal. Oh god. Oh, the apartment's already lost. Just collect your things and leave. It's over. It belongs to the sink now. Oh, here we go. He's got a big bucket. That'll fix it. Let's go. The reinforcements have arrived. The special tools are here. If we can catch all of the water, we'll win. It's a war of attrition. We'll just catch more water than it puts out. It's easy.
Are you calling the police or something?
What do you mean, what are the police supposed to do? I'd call the police in this situation too, like help. A fucking plumber is assaulting me with my own sink. Yeah, I can still hear it spraying.
It's still going.
This guy's gonna fucking drown. He's gonna literally dry drown pretty soon. Oh my fucking god. It's not even connected to the water supply of the apartment building. This is coming straight from the ocean floor. That guy is getting cooked. By the time he finally leaves the bathroom, he's actually just gonna look like Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. Oh, Jesus Christ. How is that even happening? Did we beat it? Is the boss battle over? Man. Water levels are always the worst, am I right? Jesus Christ. What a disaster. Oh, good idea. Reroute the water into the toilet. Now, maybe if we're lucky, we can overflow the septic tank and have it shooting shit water throughout the apartment, too. Yes. Oh, fuck! Oh, God, Jesus! Lord! We're back for more!
This whole fucking bedroom is fucking ruined.
Yeah, I'd say so. It is definitely ruined. You pissed off Aquaman, and he's not taking it easy here today.
Fucking shit.
Oh, it's the calm before the storm. I have a feeling it's coming back.
Fucking stairs.
When you turn it on and to turn it off, they charge $150.
Fucking, what the hell is this shit? This is worth fucking thousands!
Yeah, that was a really dumb argument. I'm not turning the water off because it's $100. Meanwhile, the whole apartment is ruined. Oh God, it's... It's even more aggressive now. You pissed it off in phase 6 of the fight. Jesus Christ.
Entire room.
That man is getting pressure washed right in his goddamn mouth. I at least respect that he hasn't just given up. If it was me, I would have just left. I would have just walked out and been like, I fucking retire, I'm done, good luck. I would have just fucking busted the sink and leave. Oh man, that is a disaster in there. Looks like I think we've finally beaten it. Hey, at least we've stopped it before it caused any major damage. We got ahead of this one. It could have been a lot worse. Good work, team. Fuck yeah. Textbook. I'm thinking maybe like a 3-star review on the plumber's services, maybe? No, the plumber, I don't think it was the plumber's fault. It must have just been something with the pipes. The plumber did everything he needed to. Everything by the book. The apartment complex requires a $150 fee to be paid every 30 minutes the water is turned off. Holy shit. So it's entirely the landlord's fault and obviously the plumber. Wilmer, confident in his abilities and armed with his trusty 5-gallon bucket, knows that he will always get her return business if he pulls this off. He gets underneath the sink and unleashes a 90 psi torrent of steaming hot water. Hey, if anyone can handle 90 psi's of boiling water, it's fucking Wilmer. Wilmer ain't got no problem with that. His skin is made out of steel, goddammit. For all the morons who complain that I should have put down the camera and helped this waterlogged jackass, I chose not to help for liability's sake and instead document the incident. Absolutely the right call. I know for a fact, and it's probably not like this now, but I guarantee a lot of people are like, why the fuck didn't you help? Like as if he's supposed to do something. What he's supposed to do? Start doing like water bending techniques to put it back in the wall? Like there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for two people to be handling the same glory hole down there under the sink. So him filming is absolutely the best call. Plus then if he helped and it still did this, he would then be liable for some of the damage, I imagine. No doubt. He made the right call for sure. People are more gullible now than they ever have been in the history of this species. That is just a fact. People are throwing away any level of thinking and rationality just to believe in the most outlandish garbage imaginable and just falling victim to every scam you could ever possibly drum up. 3 days ago, the stupid man's genius, Terrence Howard, went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Joe Rogan only piped up for 13 minutes out of this 3-hour Arkham Asylum debriefing. That's 13 minutes worth of speaking from Rogan here. The rest was Terrence Howard brainwashing idiots into thinking that he's some kind of enlightened genius. For almost a decade now, Terrence Howard has gone on this international mission to convince the world that teriology is the future. That's what he calls his logic language. Teriology. Let that just marinate in your noodles up here for a second. You're believing in a guy who's fucking preaching about teriology. So, there already exists so many people that have broken down everything Terrence Howard is wrong about in the teriology logic language system. I'm just going to focus on his biggest one. 1 times 1 equals 2. That is something that he has built his entire fucking identity around when it comes to his math. And for the first 9 years of this one-man traveling circus, everyone laughed at him because it's so outrageous. If we followed teriology, cars, phones, planes, medicine, literally everything that is keeping you alive right now would not exist because his logic language is fundamentally wrong. It's not up for interpretation. He is provably wrong in every possible measurement. And I want to dive into this deeply because so many people are thinking that he is correct. They are throating his cock and balls, literally slobbering all over his meat because he went on Rogan and used words they didn't understand. So since they didn't understand the words, they took it as a sign that this guy's the fucking chosen one when it comes to math. I'm not even mad at Terrence Howard. I want to make that clear. I'm mad that a lot of people think Terrence Howard is right. I'm more mad at the gullibility of people to just take this at face value without doing any level of thinking for themselves. It's so easy now for people to just throw away their own thoughts and just let people tell them what they should believe in. They're like, yep, that sounds right. I want to believe in that, so I will. It's so fucking frustrating because that sets us so far back. Now, before I even dive deep into this rabbit hole, I want to tackle his biggest one that he has always put on the boxing gloves and fought for the honor of, which is 1 times 1 equaling 2. He even made his own YouTube video here explaining how 1 times 1 equals 2, and admittedly, if you set aside everything that he's wrong about, he's still fucking wrong. He doesn't even come close to accidentally tickling something correct. He is fishing around in the dark looking for a urinal to piss on, but he keeps pissing on the floor because he can't find it. He doesn't decide to just turn the lights on. He wants to live in this absolute, void of logic. I am going to demonstrate why 1 times 1 can never equal 2. A third grader could do this, and I'm going to break it down in a way that no matter how stupid you are, and no matter how much you want to believe in this concept, it can't work. In no dimension in the multiverse could this ever be a real possibility. So when you're saying times, when you're using multiplication here, you're talking about the groups of something. So one group of 1 is 1, but let's get more physical with it. And I'm going to do it using a physical object here. We're going to get real, kinetic with it. And I'm going to use the GamerSupps Moist Waifu Cup. So this is me on the cup, big titty anime girl. It's available at gamersupps.gg. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's available for the next 2 weeks. This just seemed like a natural segue into mentioning that while I demonstrate this. Now let's put this concept into practice in a real-world scenario. You catch me at the grocery store, you say, "Pardon me, Charles, looking extraordinarily breedable as ever today. I have this box of moist GamerSupps waifu cups. Come take a peek." And I march on over and I say, "By Jove, look at that. There is a single moist waifu shaker cup in that box. There is one box with one moist GamerSupps cup in it. One box with one cup. I pick that up. I would have one shaker cup. 1 times 1 equals 1. That's just how it works. There's not any scenario where all of a sudden this waifu shaker cup is going to start budding like it's fucking SpongeBob and I'll end up with 2 somehow. That's not how it works. I have one box that has one cup in it. You come up to me again, this time it's at a Sam Ash music store, I'm fucking blowing away at a trumpet. You say, "Charles, check out these moist GamerSupps waifu shaker cups I have in these boxes." I say, "Oh, how many cups are per box?" You say, "There's 2 waifu shaker cups in these boxes," and I have 2 boxes. 2 boxes of 2 waifu shaker cups, that's 4 total waifu shaker cups. 2 times 2. It's like, this shouldn't be a hard thing for people to grasp. These aren't hard to understand, but when you have someone like Terrence Howard preaching just completely incorrect things, it's able to mislead people who want to believe in something different, that want to have this big paradigm shift in mathematics, which I don't really get. Why do you want mathematics to change? The only reason you're alive right now is because of that. You would have likely already been mauled by a bear, died from an infection, died from dysentery, wouldn't have made it past the Oregon Trail, way before you even made it to whatever your current age is, if we didn't have math. We wouldn't be where we are today. You wouldn't be watching this. You would likely be out there hunting and gathering and probably dying in the process. There is nothing that changes about this kind of concept when it comes to math. Now, it's important to note, I'm not a mathematician. That's something Terrence Howard and I have in common. But I think if I was a mathematician, most of you would trust me less. You'd think I'd been indoctrinated by big math or something to keep the genius revolutionaries like Terrence Howard down when it comes to these innovative concepts of new math. No, an actual child could prove why 1 times 1 will always equal 1 and never 2. It doesn't take a genius to prove that Terrence Howard is wrong. It takes an ordinary person using their own brain a little bit. And Terrence Howard is hoping that you're not one of those people that think for themselves. For some reason, we've entered the age where people don't trust experts anymore. The individuals that have dedicated their lives to a certain subject like math now have the most scrutiny from the average ordinary person, thinking that they're wrong and evil. There must be like a puppet master behind the scenes controlling the experts. Instead, the average person would rather put their faith in someone that has never studied math and never done anything properly in the subject that they're preaching about, like Terrence Howard. He has dedicated his life to being wrong. Meanwhile, the experts that just get fucking torched by people that don't understand math have an entire history of inventions to show for it that these people are literally using to criticize them. These inventions that they take for granted is the product of that math, not Terrence Howard's teriology math. If teriology was the correct mathematics, where are those drones that he was talking about for Uganda? Where is all of the potential huge breakthroughs using teriology? Where are those inventions? Now, over a year ago, I did make a video on Terrence Howard going over some of his more ridiculous and embarrassing moments. I'm not going to really harp on those here because a lot of people went from Joe Rogan to that video and said that I was just attacking him on like a personal level or something, which I really wasn't. I was just explaining why a lot of this is so silly and I was making fun of it, as everyone used to do back when we used to think for ourselves instead of just be spoon-fed all of our opinions. So, what I did talk about in that video is something I'm going to briefly mention though. He tried to scam all of Uganda by promising them these drones that literally just don't work. I'm just going to play you a clip from that again to remind you that Terrence Howard uses this math in pretty nefarious ways from time to time, like in the case with Uganda drones from the hydrogen proton geometry.
Was there for 2 years until I saw that there was an inconsistency with the math there. And so I went out to explore a new way of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it into geometry.
Once again, just a friendly reminder, there is nothing more consistent than 1 times 1 equals 1. To represent it one more time, I have one box with one waifu cup in it. 1 times 1. The total waifu cups is 1. One box has one of these in there. There is one of these in total.
And then with that geometry, I was able to put props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. This is the geometry of hydrogen. Of hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
This is the proton itself. So any bond that hydrogen can make, our linchpins are able to make.
It's been 2 years since this, and it doesn't seem like Uganda's any closer to having those Terrence Howard promised hydrogen proton geometry new flight machines that reinvent flight as we know it. But maybe it's just a project that takes a long time. Maybe he's at Area 51 right now cooking that shit up with the aliens. Who's to say? There's just no updates on it. So I'm excited to see Terrence Howard's update on these hydrogen proton geometry flying machines. But let's be fair here. Let's take a peek at both sides. Terrence Howard actually did publish something trying to prove that 1 times 1 equals 2 and that the world of science and math is wrong. You can read through the whole paper yourself if you'd like, and hopefully you'd come to the obvious conclusion that he is still incorrect in everything that he's breaking down here. He's using all these incredible leaps in logic to get to his conclusion. What I want to highlight, though, is in his own paper here, he has a whole section dedicated to the Anunnaki Sky People. Some call them the Anunnaki, the Sky People, whoever they were that gave naive generations some 6,000 years ago a multiplication table and a flat view of universal geometry. They gave that poor, misguided people a false axiom upon which to build their world. In a paper that's supposed to all be about logic and math, where the fuck did the Anunnaki Sky People come from here like a jump scare? What in the world? That should immediately trigger your bullshit alarms. That is unhinged to include in this. Like, it showcases that he fundamentally doesn't even understand where math comes from in the first place. He makes it seem like math is something that was given to us. Math is not an invention. Math is a discovery. It's something we learned. It's not something that we created based upon an Anunnaki Sky People gift. a ruse from the Anunnaki. Also, I love how he can just slide in whatever nonsense he wants without any type of citation or proof behind it. Oh yeah, this is all based upon what the Anunnaki gave us 6,000 years ago. Well, trust me, I know. I was there, actually. I saw it. Terrence Howard, I'm immortal. I saw it. I was actually there during the trade of the Anunnaki geometry and the naive generation 6,000 years ago. That's how. That's my proof. That's my evidence. Like, people just take what he says and just run with it. Like, oh, that's great. And like, they ignore it. Like, on Joe Rogan, he had a whole section dedicated to how he can remember his birth.
I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it. Go back to sleep, all of those things. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed.
That is legitimately not possible. There were some doctors that weighed in on this because a lot of people were like, this is incredible. He truly is like this super genius. He even remembers being in his mom's womb. You can't. You actually can't. You don't even start storing memories in your brain at those stages because it is still developing. So they're not fully developed. Thus, those parts that are responsible for memory storage and memory retrieval aren't there yet. You can't. And you certainly wouldn't be able to recall them. Now, a couple doctors did say that in very rare cases, you can recall some feelings, which is why if you had like a traumatic birth, that could play a role in your life later on. Like, you do form memories as a baby, but due to infantile amnesia, you can't recall them. So the memories you're forming are things like your mother's face, shit like that. As a baby, you do form those memories. You can recall your mom's face, but as you grow up, you are never going to remember those moments. You can't. Except in like extraordinarily rare cases, which don't have a ton of documentation surrounding or proof around, but there are a couple of cases where people do claim that they can. But in Terrence Howard's case, not even those extraordinary circumstances go as far as him, where he's remembering in the womb and saying to himself, don't forget, and then giving a name to his hand. That's just ridiculous. And then he says that the proof of this on Rogan is that when his wife was pregnant, he'd shine a light on her belly and then play music. And he did that for like a week, and then he stopped shining that light and playing the music, and then the baby's hand pushed on his mother's stomach. That was his proof that Terrence Howard remembered everything in his mom's womb. Once again, a complete misunderstanding of the things that he's fucking talking about with it. And there were a lot of people that said like, oh, that was a really weird section, but he was right about everything else. Why are we ignoring things like that? That is not something you should ignore. That is very clearly a red flag in the logic and the person behind the logic. It's ridiculous. Like, they're like, oh, no, he was definitely weird about the whole remembering being in the womb nonsense. But he was totally right about gravity not being real. Like, disproving gravity, he fucking nailed. And 1 × 1 = 2, absolutely on the money with it. Been saying it for years. It's so ridiculous. People just want to believe in the most, like, I don't even know the right word for it. The most over-the-top special ideas just to feel like they're smarter than everyone else. At least that's the impression I get. Because there is no way you would ever logically reach these conclusions unless you just wanted to believe Terrence Howard because it's fun and it makes you feel special. That's the only way. Because if you ever try and employ any of these in the real world, they fall on their fucking face. Again, 1 × 1 never equals 2. So if you ever try and use any of the teriology in your day-to-day life, it's not going to work. You're going to be left high and dry with your dick in your hand. It's not going to function. It can't. It doesn't. And for some reason, we are now in this age where people are just like, it doesn't matter. He's probably still right. Like, what the fuck? It's so stupid and frustrating. It really is. Like, again, I'm not even mad at Terrence Howard. Like, it's not a crime to be dumb. And it's not wrong to, like, pursue things outside of the already established, mainstream belief system. I think that's extremely important to a healthy society, always challenging the things that you're given. But this is the exact opposite. People aren't challenging what Terrence Howard is feeding them. They're just accepting it with a fucking smile on their face and not asking any questions. Terrence Howard pursuing this is not the biggest deal in the world to me. In fact, I do think in a lot of cases that can be really helpful. If someone goes out and challenges like some really well-established theories or whatever, like, let's see. It's always important. But he has come back with incorrect conclusions and still preaches about how everyone else is wrong, without ever demonstrating why he's right. He has nothing to show for his teriology. No creations, no inventions, nothing. So it should immediately right there stop for him and be like, okay, you know what? This was, a fruitless endeavor. I didn't get anything out of this. Maybe the math that we have is correct and is consistent because look at all we have to show for it. Look at all of this around us. We're surrounded by the product of mathematic breakthroughs. And Terrence Howard's math has nothing like that. So it should have come back like, okay, it was worth a try, didn't happen, we move on. And then he could have gone into different avenues to pursue more knowledge or more discoveries, but he hasn't. He has locked himself down to something that is completely false, and he's taking as many people with him as he can. And I think that shit sucks. People need to stop just taking in other people's perspectives as their own and start actually just thinking for themselves and putting into practice the things that they're being told to see if they make sense and if they're right. That's it. I mean, that's really about it. I'm not going to keep droning on about this. It's just so fucking frustrating. That's it. See ya. Thief falls through store ceiling twice. Oh, he's over here. Oh, this guy's a genius. He set up a decoy. I thought this was him. I was wondering how he gets to the ceiling. Oh, we got a real fucking criminal mastermind here. He thought of everything. It's like some shit out of Johnny Bravo when he went to steal a giant diamond. He's got like a little rope and everything. I just don't get it though. Thank God for that rope, am I right? A nice slow descent. What's the point? He's clearly robbing the place. Look at all the good loot he's walking away with. Or maybe he just wanted to try out his rope. I'll see if I can break into this place with my rope, fuck it. Oh, he's trapped in here. This man's hatching so many plans, and every single time he thinks of one, it almost immediately doesn't work. But he's on to something now. Unfortunately, the title spoils what happens next, but I like where his heart's at. He's hatched an idea and he's acting on it. I can't imagine where he falls through next. Why would you climb up here and then go this way? Oh, I see. He never even made it onto the panels. I wonder how he's doing now. Oh, he's fucking cooking. He's almost out. I see it. Alright, we were close on that one. I think one more time, and we should be free. Man's gonna just call the cops on himself to let him out. What do you mean if you know the whereabouts of this subject? He's still in the store. It's become his sarcophagus. He hasn't left. Just check the store. Oh my god, he falls through the roof as well. Or the ceiling. Man, how many fucking people fall through ceilings? I used to do vodka coke. That was always my mixed drink of choice. Cheap. And it just tasted like drinking very cold coke. Very unpopular mixed drink though. None of my friends liked it, and every time I ordered it at the bar, they always very confused and gave me some shit. So the owner's trap was locking all the doors? He's delivering some really strong kicks there. That door is putting in work. Oh, and he's going with the old horse kick as well. This is not his first rodeo kicking down a door, but he has never fought an opponent like this. That shit is vibranium. So what is he even doing here? It doesn't look like he was even trying to rob the place. It looked like he was escaping. Oh, that's rough. Oh, there goes the hammer. Are we sure that this belongs to just like a normal shop owner and not somebody that was like torturing this guy and he finally got an escape going, only to get trapped in the second phase of the solve trap? Because it didn't look like he was even trying to rob this. He's getting really close. I think that was a really fucking dumb plan. Look how close you are with the door. You can absolutely kick off the bottom, I think. I don't think you'll get through the deadbolt, but you will definitely bust the bottom up. Crawl through it. Can't believe he hasn't torn his Achilles yet. Oh, and now he's just gonna pop his shoulder out of place. Very good, very good. The panic is really setting in. Next he's gonna just take the hammer and start hitting himself with it. I don't understand. Is he running out of oxygen or something? What is happening? That leg is gonna snap any minute now. But I'm sure he's resourceful enough to find a second means of getting this open. Wait, is this one of those push locks where you push it up and pull it to the side? Has that been there the whole time? Oh my fucking god. To be fair, I also didn't notice it, but I'm also not looking at the door in person. I see he's still not free though. It looks like it is just a closet. This escape room has really bested him. God, did he just live here now or something? Holy shit, how long is this video? Oh my god, he's dehydrated, starving to death. I haven't been looking at the date up here. Is it changed by like a week or something? What's going on? This man's deteriorating. Oh, that was easy. Hey, what's up, pussy? Should have locked the cop in. That would have been a big brain move, but there's obviously another officer over here. That would have been like some mastermind shit, though. He just tucks his legs forward a little bit. This officer becomes trapped and he just has to take on one guy. It's like some GTA RP kind of shit. No, there's clearly two cops is what I'm saying. Chat, Jesus, you would never succeed as a fucking villain. A, cops don't respond to calls alone, there's always backup, and B, he was clearly talking to somebody over here while the officer was behind the door. Most people view Facebook as uncool or only used by old people, and yeah, there's a lot of geriatrics on there that are just ranting about the government putting microchips in their Raisin Bran cereal, or how 5G radio towers have opened a portal to hell that has allowed reptilian vampires to invade us in secrecy. But it's not just for these kind of unhinged rants and old people. It's an undeserved reputation. Nothing could be further from the truth. Facebook has some of the best video content on the internet. Nothing but straight bangers on there. I myself didn't know the beauty of Facebook content creators. I was blind to their genius. My ignorance was embarrassing. I look back on the Charlie of 45 minutes ago in disgust that I could even exist without knowing how great Facebook content creators were. I discovered them through Popo Medic's channel. He recently made a video going over bad Facebook videos. Popo Medic is actually the same channel where I learned about Detroit Urban Threat Management Survival Fitness Training Arena Turbo Arcade Edition Team America Gladiators. And that's when my third eye really opened to the beauty of Dale and his self-defense training. So I went back to Popo Medic and I've been checking in on his channel every now and then since, and I saw this about Facebook creators and I was like, huh. I'd never really gone down the Facebook content creator rabbit hole, so this was completely uncharted waters for me. The creator we're going to focus on today, his name is Jabrizi, and I actually recognized him because he used to be pretty big on YouTube for doing magic tricks at rap concerts, and his magic kind of slapped, it was good stuff. But it looks like he's done a full-blown shift to making Facebook garbage. And when I say garbage, I mean like actual filth. It is shameless. So you know on YouTube how a lot of creators will pad their videos to get over the 10-minute mark because they make more money for it? Facebook has that same thing. If your videos breach the 10-minute mark, you make more money from them. And Jabrizi does it in a way that is so laughably shameless, I can't help but applaud it. Now, as always, don't harass anyone in the videos. Just don't be a douchebag.
Anyone here?
So then he just stays in that room for the next 9 minutes. That's right, 9 minutes you just sit here looking at the same hallway with nothing changing. just to make the video long enough to go over the 10-minute mark. The laziness is impressive, and this isn't like a small Facebook creator. Jabrizi has over 10.4 million followers, with videos getting over 100 million views sometimes. So this is the big time, and he's able to fucking squeeze them for all they're worth. What a fucking hero. She comes out draped in an American flag, make me want to pump my fist and chug a Budweiser. He is only on screen for about 8 seconds of this 10-minute and 18-second video. The other 10-minute and 10 seconds of this video is spent on just a hallway with nothing happening and a stock alarm sound effect. The laziness is absolutely admirable. Like, it is so fucking impressive what you can get away with on Facebook. It blew my mind when I saw this one here. And people in the comments eat it up. There are people like, yeah, thank you for supporting firefighters. This is amazing. I was glued to every second of this one. I was on the edge of my seat. But then there's also equal parts people being like, why is it so long? Nothing happens. It's a waste of my time. But it still has tons of views. Like, he gets so much money off of doing these things. It's completely effortless, and he's striking gold. He really is. I can't even be mad at him. He literally takes a concept that is about 30 seconds worth of content, if you can even call it that. And here it wasn't even 30 seconds. It was literally about 8. He takes that and then just fills the other 10, 15 minutes with nothing. Literally nothing. He just literally has a still image, basically. An unchanging shot of nothing. It's like that, what's that guy's name? John Cage, the guy who went on stage and did 4 minutes and 33 seconds of nothing while he sat at a piano. He was supposed to give a concert, but instead he just sat there on his ass and just like hung out for 4 minutes. And people applauded as like a really incredible piece of art. That's basically what this guy does with every video, and he makes a ton of money from it.
And you're gonna see the gift. It's directly to your right, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, uncover your eyes and look to the right.
Now, you'd expect her to see that her 2 children are right there, but she doesn't. And then you would expect her to, like, open the present and see them shortly after. But she doesn't. They dragged this one on for 16 and a half minutes. Yeah, no fucking lie. It is constant edging and blue balls, if you can even call it that, because it's not like you're excited. You obviously know all of this is fake as long as you're not like actually senile or actually 2 years old. You clearly know this is fake, but the entertainment is supposed to be from like the feel-good nature of it, but here you don't even get that. It is just stalling and stretching and stalling and stretching. It is painful.
So he decides, Chris is only us 3. My brother and my mom have 2 siblings, have 2 moms, so have 2 years, so we do 2 flags up, and now this is so special, he decides to put their flags on that one, okay? When you count down 5, no, it's, I would say a pair of things, but it's more than one thing here.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it.
I'm gonna get into the okay. You gotta do it. Chris, your mom's the last gift. Let's go, just go, ready?
Okay. Oh, I know.
Luggage. It's luggage, you.
And it goes to
Turn that off. Remember off the best. Maybe start your luggage, please. Okay, 5, 4, 3. When I get to 1, just pop out, look inside.
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Are you ready, Mom?
Yeah, I'm ready.
1. Go.
Okay.
Just go. Just look. Just look.
16 minutes, 42 seconds. Christmas is over at that point. If you spend that long on a single present, all the food's cold and your family's already left. Uncle's already drank himself into a coma. Like, there is no reason these videos should be this long. Even if you're just trying to shamelessly stretch to 10 minutes, Jabrizi goes the extra mile and stretches almost to 20. I also love how in almost all of these videos, you can see how bored the people waiting are. Like, I'm surprised those 2 didn't just collapse and faint from blood loss from locking their knees standing up like that for so long. Like, I'm surprised deep vein thrombosis didn't start setting in. Their legs just atrophying from standing still for that long doing nothing. And you can really just see the boredom and pain on their faces. It is actually shocking what you can get away with on Facebook. It blows my mind that people will sit there and eat this shit up.
Very, very important.
Okay, very important, huh? Why are we out here alone?
I don't have a husband.
Hey, keep your hands.
Sir, look.
121 million views on that one. It took her about like 40 seconds to put on the tummy and then the dress and put her head back on the police car, and then she sat in that position leaning on the police car for 16 minutes almost before it finally ends with her being like, water broke. It gets to the punchline. 16 minutes. 121 million views. I really wasn't exaggerating when I said almost every single one of these videos is exactly the same like this, where they all stretch with nothing in there, just shamelessly padding for the most amount of money they could possibly get out of the system. It's fucking wild. Anyway, I just wanted to share this because it blew my mind to see this on Facebook. I imagine he's not the only one doing it. I imagine this is probably pretty common practice, but this is the only one that I saw, and probably the biggest, over 10.4 million followers that all watched this. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. That's about it. See ya. In case any of you have been feeling a lack of self-esteem or a bit hard on yourself, I wanted to show you a video that will prove that no matter what's going on with you, you will never be as pathetic as the man I'm about to show you. This is a video that I've thought about for quite a while now. This happened in 2013, and I'll think about it and just remember, you know what? At least I'm not that guy. And hopefully it'll do the same for you. So this is an attempted robbery here by the Hamburglar. He's doing us the favor of showing us his face before putting his mother's pantyhose over it. And then he comes back into frame looking like fucking Goofy here, about to commit a felony. He's got a brick armed and ready, launches that bad boy, it doesn't work, he panics, trips, falls a couple times, and then scurries off. One of the finest crimes our nation has ever seen. A smooth operation. This is up there with the Zodiac Killer when it comes to mysteries. In fact, this man was never caught. Probably because the detectives were too busy laughing at him, but they never did catch this man. He could be out there still terrorizing meat stores to this day. Throwing bricks, bowling balls, perhaps even dropping full grand pianos through them, Looney Tunes style. This menace is still out there. And this is all we have to identify him, and the only proof of his existence. It's like a cryptid. We basically caught the not-so-slender man here. This guy is fucking incredible at everything involving disasters. It is perhaps the worst attempted robbery ever recorded. He's actually kind of a pioneer when it comes to attempted robberies, because this isn't the standard meta of robbing a place for money. Because this isn't a place where there would be any money in the shop or in the cash register. It's a fucking meat store. They only sell meat. So the only motivating factor here, the goal, wouldn't be money, it'd be more meat. Which is truly innovative, I would say, in the crime game. Just look at the way he's dressed. He looks like he's trying to audition to be a backup dancer in an old Bee Gees music video. I'd like to just play this one more time, start to finish here, because it's a masterpiece disaster. He must have just seen a brick as he was going for a midnight stroll, and then hatched this genius scheme here to get some more meat, but it all went downhill when he was defeated by the vibranium glass door. Real shame. Emergency crew rescues sex doll after mistaking it for a drowning woman. Can't look at that on stream, but I'm going to look at that over here right now. It was reported by a YouTuber, Natsuki Tanaka, who believed she was witnessing a real-life rescue. While filming a fishing video, I thought a dead body floating in the water had washed up, but it was a blow-up doll. I don't think I can show this on stream, but if this is how they rescue people, they need to work on their procedure. To paint you a picture, the rescue crew is lifting up the body with a rope. It's literally, they have her in a noose. And they're lifting it out of the water. And I guess at this point they still believed it was a person. That has to be the most counterintuitive way of rescuing somebody. They thought it was a dead person? Yeah, but even still, like, it doesn't take a whole lot to realize that dead bodies decompose. They could have just ripped the fucking head off of that thing. So even if it was a dead body, that is an extremely inefficient way of getting it out of the water. You should look at the video of the granny that got airlifted if you want another great rescue. That one is a timeless classic. I do like that one a lot. She survives, so this one's got a happy ending, and she was totally fine, but yeah, this one is great. This is one of the better rescues I've seen. They had her wound up like a fucking Beyblade. I bet she really enjoyed the ride, though. It's like a carnival ride. Yeah, it's only just begun. She hasn't reached the G-forces that will kill you, but she gets close. This is the kind of training astronauts go through. I can just imagine, like, them looking down at her and laughing. Like, you can't help it, right? Like, you recognize the goofiness of the situation. She's probably not having any fun. Oh, God. She's about to travel back through time. It's like a laundry machine when you put a brick in it. Oh, the G-forces are too much. Oh, God. Yeah, they just fly away in shame. They never actually get her on board, I don't think. And according to reports, she was totally fine, but I have to imagine that maybe she died here and they're just covering their ass. Yeah, that's one of my favorite rescues. That's like a rescue out of GTA RP. Like if you get a really inexperienced hospital worker that picks you up and they just kill you on the way. Can she feel that? I think so. I think she was there for a broken leg. I think it was a hiking trail and she broke her leg on it. So, I mean, it's not like she was knocked out. She was just there getting fucking spun around on the world's most extreme merry-go-round. You should play the video with newscaster audio. Is there a video with newscaster audio? I don't think I've ever heard it.
Efforts to rescue an injured hiker in Arizona took a dramatic turn. That's a key word on Tuesday. A spokesman for the Phoenix Fire Department said a 75-year-old woman was being airlifted when the basket carrying her began to spin out of control. Officials say a line used to prevent
it doesn't get old.
Not function properly.
The spin is just so comical. Yeah, it sounds about par for the course. Is that the audio or do they have real-time audio? Like, do they have like a newscaster that was watching this unfold live and they're like, oh my god, Jesus Christ.
We trained for it. We did a couple of...
The training paid off, for sure.
...to help stop it, mitigate it, and be able to eventually get her into the basket. They tried to stop some of the spin with the line that Paul was referring to. But that didn't work, and it actually eventually broke, so we brought it down again, brought it back up, hoping some of the spin would lessen, which it didn't, obviously. So the next...
I feel like it gets faster every time I watch it. I imagine it's going so fast that it started to throw off the helicopter's balance. It's like matching the speed of the blades. She sued for $2 million and won. 74-year-old woman files $2 million claim. Hey, good for her. I mean, you get to go on a little amusement park ride, the little spinning teapots, and you get $2 million? I mean, that's a fucking deal. Good for her.
See this?
For the Phoenix Fire Department,
oh, here we go.
A typical rescue that quickly spun out of control.
This is really going fast now.
Inside that hoist basket, picking up speed, was 74-year-old Cataline Metro, the injured hiker suddenly on a rescue ride that her husband thought could cost her her life.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's dead or alive.
Watching from the ground with stunned
but one thing was for sure,
Metro's
she was having fun.
150 times. For 2 minutes, her husband says she fought to stay conscious as crews struggled to slow the basket.
You know, her only first thing she said, I'm glad I'm alive, because she thought she was going to die.
Tonight, Cataline Metro back on the ground after the rescue
that sounds about right.
Of a lifetime.
Surgery is a very scary thing. You are literally putting your life into someone else's hands. And unfortunately, sometimes those hands aren't focused on the task. They're focused on doing some of this. And maybe even a little of this. And God forbid, Lord help us, sometimes even this. What I'm talking about today is the dancing doctor trend. It's kind of dwindled in popularity after some of the doctors participating in it lost their license because of it, which I think is justice served. And in fact, I think that's not far enough. I think if you are a doctor who is compromising the health of their patient because of this dancing trend that you did, you should probably face a little bit more than just the license being revoked. You literally put their life at risk for some clout. Like, that's not an exaggeration to say. Now, this was a bit of a viral trend for a little bit. It actually predates TikTok. It actually was before TikTok, where for some reason some doctors got it in their fucking noodle that this would be like a really quirky, fun marketing thing for their practice, and somehow didn't recognize that this would scare the shit out of people, because no one wants their doctor to be the zany goofball who's going to, you know, fool around during very sensitive surgeries. Would stop to film TikTok videos of them dancing with like pieces of their patients in their hands and using it as props, or just generally dancing or filming skits while operating on a patient. Just imagine that nightmarish scenario. You're about to go unconscious from the anesthesia, and as your eyes are closing, you hear the TikTok 3-second countdown. And when it hits 0, you just go straight to Valhalla. It's such a terrifying thing to think about because surgery is so sensitive. You don't need me to sit here and tell you how dangerous surgery can be. Obviously, if you've developed object permanence, you can fucking recognize that surgery is something that is not to be taken lightly. It's not small potatoes by any means. So when you're going under for a procedure, you would pray that all of the doctors there are on your team, there for you 100% to, you know, fix whatever the problem is or whatever's going on there. But in this trend, it was the exact opposite. It's like they waited for the patient to go to sleep and turned that fucking operating room into a nightclub. Hey, is the idiot asleep? Perfect. Drop the disco ball, bring in the dancing lobsters. Jill, hit it. Where are my boner jams? We're filming a TikTok. And it led to some problems. Now, the one I want to focus on today is a video that actually was very popular a few years ago and is making the rounds again because there is a follow-up to this story that I'd like to get into after showing it to you.
Latoya Arsheen was among the first to see video of Dr. Wendell Boutte making an incision and mugging for the camera while the rap song Cut It played.
I don't want to get DMCA'd, so I'm not letting the song play, but you know how the song goes. You need to cut it. Little acapella for you.
That's Arsheen on the table. Cut It is your song, girlfriend. You did awesome. The photo release form is signed only by a member of Boutte's staff. Where Arsheen was supposed to sign is blank.
I feel disrespected on a lot of levels.
The song's playing here again while they're dancing with a portion of her flesh. This is actual Ed Gein type shit. This is diabolical. That's like something a Dark Souls boss would do. Use flesh as some kind of instrument. That is so disturbing. Like, I don't know what they were expecting with this video when they posted it. Like, did they think this would become like the official music video for Cut It or something going forward? Or like, I don't know how they thought this was a good idea and how they wouldn't get in trouble for it. Like, this is not what you would want your doctors to be doing while you're under. Because then you have to start to question, well, what else did they do that wasn't filmed? Like, I woke up from the surgery and my butt was a little sore. I'm questioning a lot of things now. Like, what's going on? Like, this is only what they filmed. Far more horrible things also could have been happening off camera. And even what happened on camera is unacceptable. It's just so fucked.
Do you think that's your flesh?
I think it is, with the Cut It, the remainder of the song.
Former patients have now come forward with complaints. Arsheen plans legal action not just about the video, but about her results.
How does your body look now?
Disfigured.
So according to her, her body is disfigured as a result of the surgery, and from what I can tell, many other complaints say the same thing, that they had less than stellar results. As you would probably guess if your doctor was more focused on making TikToks as opposed to the actual surgical procedure they were supposed to be focusing on. You'd probably have better luck getting your surgery done by some mysterious shady goober off the black market. You'd be risking your kidneys, but in a practice like this, you're risking your whole life here, because you might just die on the operating table because they're too busy focusing on hitting like a fat fucking Gangnam Style while you're under on the table. Really dated myself on that one because I couldn't think of any of the new dance trends, but you get what I'm saying. Now, like I mentioned, a lot of these do predate TikTok. This one in particular, this happened in 2017 through 2018. And it was posted to YouTube and Instagram. But this trend did persist all the way into TikTok, and I'm sure some of you have seen more recent headlines about some dancing doctors on TikTok that have also faced some repercussions for that, luckily. But this one is, I think, the most shocking one, because they are actually dancing around with pieces of the patient. So, the follow-up to this story is there was a lawsuit launched here, obviously, from former patients of this practice. There's numerous videos of Dr. Wendell Boutte here dancing as their patients are under, and as you've seen, even using them as, or parts of them, as props in the dancing. While she's operating, also dancing. The surgical assistants, everyone who even enters the room just gets hit with this fucking boogie virus and they just can't help but dance for the sake of these videos, all while they're supposed to be doing surgery. She faced numerous lawsuits, all of which I believe have resolved, and she's been ordered to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to the victims. She had her medical license suspended, but from what I can tell, it was only suspended for 2.5 years, which means she can legally practice medicine again in Georgia? I actually can't find a follow-up on that, but she wasn't permanently suspended, which I have to raise an eyebrow to. I don't know how this didn't become like a more criminal case where she'd face jail time. Like, I think it is super severe, especially when you look at some of these cases. So a patient named Silma Cornelius went into her practice, and she was only there for a couple of small things, but was eventually convinced to do bigger procedures, and eventually paid $11,284, and then also had another scheduled cosmetic procedure down the line. So she went back on February 18th of 2016 to return for that cosmetic procedure, and something went wrong. 8 hours into the surgery, after anesthesia was discontinued, and before her lower abdomen had been sutured, she went into cardiac arrest. Paramedics arrived at the scene, and it took 30 minutes to close up her abdomen, and they had to carry her down the stairs because there wasn't an elevator big enough to accommodate a stretcher. And by the time she arrived at the medical center, she was in severe distress, unresponsive, and unable to breathe without a ventilator, and suffered a severe and debilitating catastrophic brain injury, and left her reliant on a feeding tube and around-the-clock care. The quirky dancing doctor was legitimately ruining people's lives, disfiguring them permanently, and in this case, leaving a woman with permanent brain damage. Under no circumstances should she be allowed to practice again. It's not like this is just some kind of freak mistake that she made one time. She had dozens of videos doing this with many victims. Like, this isn't just some kind of whoopsie-daisy that someone makes, like, oh, how was I supposed to know that dancing during surgery and, parading around parts of the patients was a bad idea? Like, what do you mean? This is new information that nobody knew. Like, I couldn't have avoided this. This was truly inevitable. It's fucking ridiculous. I really think she got off very easy in this case. Yes, she was ordered to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars to some of the victims, but she was also an extremely successful dermatologist. I don't think that hurt her very much. Like, she got off of this, in my opinion, very easy. Now, the anesthesiologist in that Cut It video you just saw also faced some legal problems as well, but he was actually cleared of malpractice last year. In that video I showed you with Cut It playing, Dr. Roland Pinkney was in there dancing as well. He was the anesthesiologist that day, and he was facing some legal issues here, but was ultimately deemed not liable in any way for what the victim had experienced. As a result of this, 100% of the fault was put once again on Wendell, and basically they were arguing that him dancing was not a breach of care. Like, the argument they made ultimately was that it was just him being less than professional, but him being unprofessional doesn't constitute breaching the medical standard of care that he needed to uphold. I have to firmly disagree here. I feel like anyone in that operating room should know that you shouldn't be filming fucking YouTube videos and TikTok dances while you are in the middle of a surgery. Now, in his defense, he was under the impression that the patient consented to having that kind of content made during the procedure. So it does get a little fishy there with exactly what he was aware of. That is a weird thing to consent to. I don't imagine there's many people out there that would be super happy to see themselves under the knife and having their doctors like dance around with their flesh. So that still seems a little odd to me, but ultimately he was found not in violation of that medical standard of care. It was no malpractice on his end was the verdict. But yeah, pretty fucked up situation that I just wanted to talk a little bit about because I dove into it pretty deep today. That's really about it. So yeah, lying on a job resume or bluffing your way to a job that you have absolutely no idea how to handle isn't the most uncommon thing in the world. My favorite example of this is George Lazenby, who played James Bond for a single movie. He made up his entire resume, lied about all of it in order to land the role, and played it one time and quit. Dude had no acting experience at all and must have forged the best summer reading report of a resume ever. So he got to be James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and I love the poster here. Far up, far out, far more. James Bond 007 is back. More like fucking Lames Bond. Jesus Christ, that hasn't aged well. That goes to show you how much we've evolved. That is not the best tagline now, but I do appreciate it. Point is, forging a resume, making shit up in order to get a job, that's not unheard of. And today I was thinking back to some classic controversies and examples of this happening, and I remembered like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a couple cases where people pretended to be sign language interpreters and landed roles in major productions such as news broadcasts or events and concerts, and eventually people that actually understood sign language called them out because they were signing complete nonsense. It wasn't even close. It was blatantly way off. They were up there just doing the fucking scat man with their hands, not making any sense. They were up there like popping and locking, doing like TikTok dances basically, and calling it sign language.
Happened again. Another sign language interpreter accused of signing total gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
I don't know American Sign Language, but I do know she got one of those right. 4. I understood that one. A pretty high-profile case here, a serial killer, and I bet all the viewers that are hard of hearing must have been beyond confused as to the report that was being delivered from this lady.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out, much of what she was signing was nonsense. She waved her arms around like she was singing Jingle Bells.
I've got to admire the fake it till you make it attitude here, but unfortunately the only thing to make was a fool of herself. I decided to look at comments, which is usually very ill-advised. When you go into the YouTube comments, you're going into the swamp. But I really was curious if she was signing any real words at all, because even to my stupid, smooth little reptile brain, some of those did look like actual sign language, movements. And it turns out she was using some words correctly, such as kill and murder and arrested. However, most of it was gibberish. Most of it was just actual mumbled nonsense. So when she was doing all that stuff with her, fingers, none of that was real. I could have been up there doing, the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 salute, and I would have been making more sense than she was. It's also wild to think that anyone hard of hearing that would have been watching this broadcast might have been concerned for her health, because the way she's signing would have been like having a stroke. A ton of gibberish with a few words that get mumbled out would have been like going to an auction during a bidding war, where the auctioneer is just going fucking hog wild, like, yeah, do I hear 5-5? Do I hear 5-5? I'm going 1, 2, hear 5-5, 25 over there, 5-5.
Says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud. So how did she come to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference?
I just didn't ask enough questions.
I love this section where he just kind of pops in like, yep, it was me. I'm the fucking idiot. I did it. Like, he's just very upfront and honest, like a parent that caught their kid stealing a cookie from the cookie jar and just folding, like, no, it was me. I did it. It's my fault. I'm the dummy. Point and laugh at me, shoot your spitballs at me. I know. It was me. Also, at a certain point, I just have to admire this lady's grind. She was born for one purpose. Trolling. Like, her whole life has been nothing but fraud, and she still continues to go down that path. And she wasn't even getting paid for this, by the way. She did this just for the love of lying. So she had no experience signing, she also had a history of fraud, and still landed the biggest sign language interpretation position of that year. This serial killer broadcast was a huge one. I remember this vividly. So, hats off to her that she's still able to keep performing at a high level of fraud.
Tampa Police Public Information Officer Steve Haggerty told me the woman simply showed up out of the blue and offered her services.
My immediate reaction was, I didn't call for a sign language interpreter, but that's great that we have one here. I let her in.
Did this woman appear to know what she was doing?
To the untrained eye, and that would include mine, I didn't see any problem.
There's almost an art form for something being so stupid that it's smart. A plan like this, which at its core is just complete dogshit dummy, that it crosses over that event horizon into being genius. This is something where no one's gonna really question you, so she shows up like an angel. Hey, I'll be a sign language interpreter here, just so that way if anyone's hard of hearing and watching this, they can get the information. Like, oh, that's so nice of you to offer your services. Can you prove that you can do it? And then, if you don't know American Sign Language, you're not going to be able to pick up on, like, all kinds of moves with your hands and shit not meaning anything. So she could have easily faked her way into it, and she did flawlessly. Like the guy said, to the untrained eye, he had no red flags being tripped off, and they're not going to really background check someone that's offering their service for free, because what would be the incentive? Like, why would they be lying about it?
This latest embarrassment comes 3 months after it was revealed that the sign language interpreter at a Hurricane Irma news conference, also in Florida, made no sense.
The time to act is now.
Haggerty is summing up the latest goof.
We won't be using that woman again.
Cops say this was not a crime, but it was an ethical violation.
So we're going to get to that other sign language blunder in just a moment, because it also happened in Florida, and I also remember that one as well, because I'm from Florida. Now, as he mentioned, it's not a crime to be faking a sign language position, I guess. Since she wasn't charging for her service, she didn't defraud them or anything. She just lied to them and pretended she knew what she was doing. They got pranked, basically. I bet she was giggling the entire way home that she actually pulled this off. She must have like a Facebook group that they do these high-profile pranks in or something. Like, I don't know why she would do this, other than just having fun with it. Which is still such a wild activity, like a wild hobby, to just pretend to be a sign language interpreter.
The time to act is now.
It was an urgent Hurricane Irma evacuation order, but look at the sign language interpreter on the right. He's actually signing total gibberish. What's he really communicating to deaf citizens caught up in the hurricane crisis? Words like pizza, monsters, and the sentence, help you at that time to use bear hug.
This situation actually has a lot more nuance compared to the last one. In the last one, it's like that Shaq meme, I'm unfamiliar with your game. I don't know why that lady pretends to be a sign language interpreter, especially when she's not getting paid for it. She does it just to make the whole broadcast silly and goofy. A mere mortal can't possibly understand her deep, complex motivations for why she fakes being a sign language interpreter. But in this case, the guy did not want to do this. He was forced to. And he actually does have a sympathetic background and actually does have experience with sign language, but told them he wasn't comfortable doing this and didn't think he was cut out for it. So they mention here that he was signing real words like pizza and monsters, both of which could be applicable to a hurricane. A hurricane comes around, you're probably gonna have pizza places being hit. Pizza's not safe. It's not like a fucking safe spot or anything. You might even have pizza flying around the hurricane that could be used as a projectile weapon. So maybe he had a whole spiel he was going to go into about pizza. Monsters. A hurricane is absolutely nature's monster. It's been called that since the beginning of time. And then about the bear hug. You know, better hug your loved ones because you might fucking lose them in the hurricane. There's plenty of ways of spinning that where it makes sense. But point is, he was using real words and actually stringing together sentences. They just didn't fully make sense at all.
Deaf actress Marlee Matlin posted, "This is outrageous.
Please heed our warnings.
The interpreter's name is Marshall Green. Officials in Manatee County asked Green to step in because no one else was available. His mom, brother Morgan, who is hearing impaired, and Morgan's fiancée Chauncey are coming to his defense today.
This is where the plot starts to thicken. You can see where the narrative is about to get real convoluted and confusing here. So, they called upon him, like Batman with the signal in the sky, in order to be the sign language interpreter for the evacuation orders for Irma. That's a very serious thing. The evacuation for Irma was a huge deal. I got evacuated during Hurricane Irma. Now, luckily, I didn't see his broadcast, and I don't understand sign language, because if I did, I may have ended up just getting a pizza and writing it out, which may have fucking killed me, who knows. But point is, they chose Marshall, saying they had nobody else to go to, so it was their last-ditch Hail Mary, desperate attempt to get some kind of sign language interpreter up there for the broadcast to relay the information to the hearing-impaired community. I don't know how they chose him. Someone must have just been like, hey, I saw Marshall do the fucking Vulcan salute at the office one time. Good enough, bring him in. Surely he knows sign language.
He, told them he didn't think that he was able to do it, and they felt like that they needed him to. So he said yes. The vocabulary for an evacuation is very different than everyday language.
I'm just asking, as someone hearing impaired, what your reaction is to this criticism. Chauncey signed my question to Morgan.
He only did what he was told to do, so please leave our family alone.
In this case, I really just don't blame Marshall for this situation at all. This is not his fault. He gave them warning that he probably couldn't do this and he didn't feel comfortable trying. His brother is hearing impaired, so he does know sign language, and his brother and family also confirm he does know sign language, but the vocabulary and the speed of the evacuation orders are very different than what he's used to, which is why he said he didn't feel comfortable trying it, but he still did the best that he could when they asked him to. So I do really feel bad for him and the family here, because this is really not his fault. He didn't want to be there. He didn't lie to get there, and he didn't try to, fuck the whole thing up. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about these because they popped into my head this afternoon, because I remembered there was so much sign language controversy for a year where even outside of these two cases, a couple other sign language interpreters were revealed as complete frauds, and they were ones that actually traveled with bands and rappers where they'd like sign the songs, and it turns out they weren't even signing anything close to the songs. So the whole thing was just a wild little trend almost, and just want to talk about it. That's about it. So yeah. I read a rather goofy story yesterday that I'd like to share with all of you. It's about a man who drained his family's entire bank account in order to throw it all in cash out of a speeding vehicle on the interstate. I believe the motivation was he wanted to try and like give back to people, but it's the most inefficient way imaginable. He's like a very confused Robin Hood. He didn't steal from the rich to give to the poor. He stole from his family to give to nature, because most of those bills that he loosely threw out of the car have absolutely ended up just getting either eaten by animals or buried in dirt, sand, run over by other cars, ripped in half. Like, it's just the dumbest plan ever. Nothing about it makes sense. He did it in loose $100 bills. That's giving the money to nobody. He basically just created a real-life video game Easter egg. If you go to these random coordinates off the interstate, you might find a few loose hundreds. It is wild. I can only envision a couple of other worse ways of trying to give money to people, and that'd be like dumping $200K in cash down a river and then saying like, well, I wanted to help people, so anyone that happens to go by the river might be able to fish out a couple hundreds or a couple $1,000s from it. Or dumping $200K into a dormant volcano and then saying it's like a long con, so when the volcano erupts, it's like this giant money like geyser that's shooting money into the atmosphere for people to collect on its way down. Like, it's just wildly nonsensical and inefficient if you're actually trying to help people. However, chat actually tossed around a theory that opened my third eye to what was probably the motivation behind this, and it most likely wasn't to help people. So I'm just gonna lay it out real quick before showing you all the clips. Basically, this guy drained his family's entire joint bank account of $200,000 and then threw money out of his car on the interstate. Now, since $200K was now missing from the family's bank account and a lot of money was thrown out of the window and scattered throughout the interstate on the side, they just assumed all $200K had been thrown out by this guy. But what is most likely the case is he threw out a chunk of it, maybe like $10,000, and then kept the other $190K and can just pretend that he threw all of it away, meanwhile has pocketed most of it for himself. Because people have reported that they picked up like $2,000, $1,000, this and that, but it's not like there's these huge batches of like $50K or anything. Like, all of the reported numbers so far are $1,000 to $2,000, so it doesn't equal $200K. He very, very well could have just thrown out a small portion of it and kept the rest in order to throw his family off his trail. Like, no, I don't have the money anymore. I threw it all away to help people. Meanwhile, he actually does still secretly have the money. But that's just a theory, though I do think that does have a lot of weight. You hear about the man in Oregon who threw over $200K out of his speeding car on the highway? Yeah, that was a cool story. I'll bring that up. That's a wholesome one. It's not wholesome at all, actually. But his heart was in the right place. He's just a little confused.
$200,000 cashed out a car window. He said he wanted to help people in need.
Yep.
It was his money.
His car as he drove along an interstate in Eugene, Oregon.
Which is just a wild idea, by the way. Like, first of all, throwing $200K in cash anywhere is wacky. Like, that is outrageous. But to throw it out of a speeding vehicle is even stupider. It's going to be extremely hard to pick up the cash. But not only that, to throw it out of a speeding vehicle on the interstate where human beings are not, like, walking is even stupider. Then all the money's just going to keep getting run over until it's worthless. Everything about this plan screams that he had just done like PCP or something and he was seeing God. He was like, holy shit, I'm chosen. Gotta drain the bank account to spread the love.
This guy was driving up and down I-5, dropping out tons of cash.
Chaos erupted as motorists pulled over looking for
It's
a
also
wad of bills.
It's also extremely dangerous just to be walking around the interstate like this. Like, this is the worst place you could have ever had people going on a fucking scavenger hunt. And at night, too. This lady's out here playing on Ultra Nightmare mode. She's wearing black on black. I don't know what the fuck that thought process is. Hopefully she doesn't see like $100 bill out there, because that could spell the end. That could just be a disaster. Or if you were like an evil supervillain, you put like $100 bill on like a fishing line, you throw it out and reel it in like Mr. Krabs when he was chasing that dollar around. Like this whole thing is just so fucking ridiculous.
Word spread fast.
Some friends called me and said that they got $2,000.
They left their cars on the side of the road with traffic whizzing by. Just a handful of people wondered if this was the right thing to do.
We have one of the people who picked up the large sum of cash, $1,800 worth.
Oh, they thought it was stolen.
I-5 wanting to know what to do with the money.
The dude who is said to have tossed out the family bank account has been identified as Colin Davis McCarthy.
Classic Colin W.
Say he does.
This guy isn't in any legal trouble at all because he was on the account. He had a right to throw the money away, as crazy as it sounds.
The family says, please
sounds like a
return
radio
it.
DJ.
That money is very much needed by the family.
Such a fucking crazy story. Every single iota of that plan is dumb. Draining all of the money from his family's account. And then instead of like doing, if he wanted to just give away everything, like all of his worldly possessions or whatever, that's one thing. You like actually give it away or do some kind of, I don't know, effective means of giving. This guy just threw it out over the interstate like a bank robber. And then he throws away like his family's financial security. I bet it was only like $80K and they're just lying. Brother, what? Okay, let's assume you're right. If he threw out $80K from the car window, the story is just as fucking stupid. It doesn't change. It's not like the amount that makes it outrageous. It's the whole idea of it, though the amount absolutely does help elevate the goofiness. I'll be waiting on 275 for someone to do this. Yeah, maybe he's going to start a trend, like that whole pay it forward trend where in a drive-thru you used to pay for the people behind you's meal. Maybe now people just drain their bank accounts and start tossing that shit out the window on the interstate. I'd love to like see an interview with Colin. I want to know. Can you imagine Mr. Beast doing the same thing? I really couldn't. Like I actually couldn't. I could see like a really supervillain's a word I've been using a lot recently, but I can't think of another word for it. But I could see like a rich supervillain doing something similar. Like maybe this inspires him and he throws out like 200K, but over like an old minefield. Like some of those locations that still have buried landmines that are a danger to people. Just literally throwing it out there and not telling people it's all landmines everywhere. Like that could be crazy. I could see that. That'd be like an actual plot for some kind of evil bad guy. Vigilante. Well, that's definitely not the right word for it. That's not a vigilante at all. That's like actual Squid Games, yeah. Draining the family's bank account without telling them or anything like that, immediately ruining that, like, pretty much their life, that's debilitating. To give all the money away is one thing, but to just throw it out the window is a totally different one. Like, if you just set up a garage sale where people, like, pull up and he gives you money to take away some of his items, like, I'd be like, oh, wow, what a fucking saint. Look at this guy. Let's get a load of this fucking guy. They did it on the interstate. I almost feel like he did want to see people getting hit. Like, maybe he actually is just a evildoer. He was like, I'm going to throw out 200K and I want to see how many greedy people go out there to collect it and then get fucking slaughtered. Like Jigsaw playing a game with people's greed. Oh, that's interesting. He probably threw out 10K and kept the rest. That... Maybe we're not giving him enough credit. Perhaps this was all a ruse. So he drains the family's bank account, and then he comes up with this outrageous plan. I'll throw some of the money out on the interstate. The family would report 200K is missing, and then this story would come out with all this money that was thrown on the interstate, but we only have like a few people that have confirmed like 2K, 1.5K. Yeah. Oh, maybe. So he threw out 10K and he's pocketed the other 190 and they're like, oh shit, damn, guess it's all gone. Sorry guys, I just really wanted to help people. Meanwhile, he's still got 190K in his fucking mattress. Holy shit, that's what the 80K guy was saying. He's actually smart. True, yeah. I'll eat shit on the 80K guy. That must have been like the tree he was barking up there. That is quite the plan. That is a nefarious plot. And would actually be kind of smart if you're trying to fuck your family and take all the money for yourself. Yeah, because the amount doesn't match up with what people picked up. Well, that's only what people have reported. Do you know how many people have probably been out on this fucking interstate for the last 2 days? Literally camping there? You probably have some of those, like, old beachgoers with the metal detector out looking for $100 bills now. Like, the spirit's there, but the brain's not. The body's willing, but the mind's fried. Like, they're probably trying everything. So maybe it was the whole 200K, the whole kit and caboodle, and people have just taken it and then, went home and haven't talked to the news agencies about it. Because, again, most people are going to assume it's stolen cash, and with stolen cash, I imagine you have to give it back. So they're probably like, fuck that. I'll take this 30K worth of stolen cash I found in the ditch here and just go home. Did you see about the police officer that drove into a restaurant and arrested the owner? He crashed his car through the restaurant? 2 videos, lots of questions after police SUV crashes into St. Louis bar. Owner arrested. Man, what? You're under arrest for putting this restaurant in the front of my SUV cruiser. You're in violation. Sounds like a Looney Tunes trap, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where they paint like a tunnel on a wall and then just crash into it. 2 videos shared on Tuesday by an attorney for a South St. Louis bar owner show a police SUV crashing into the bar, and part of the aftermath that led to the bar owner being arrested on charges of assault and resisting arrest. Oh, so the charges were separate from the crash. So this guy was just scooting in sideways like an action movie scene. The videos clear up some questions about what happened early Monday outside of the bar. Bar PM, popular gay bar in the city's Carondale neighborhood. I'm sure I butchered that name. But they produced several more. The bar's co-owner, Chad Morris, was charged with third-degree assault and misdemeanor resisting arrest after the crash. Police claimed he pushed an officer and ran from them. Let's see what the footage... Oh my god. It is impossible to use the internet without an ad block these days, but I can't go on these websites with one on anymore. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright. He didn't even really... Man. I can't even rewind the video because I'm getting another ad. He didn't even get far into the restaurant. This is like an advertisement for whoever makes that door threshold, like the door frame. Fucking blocked a full-speed police SUV. He bounced off of it. What is that made out of? Titanium? Adamantium? Like, look at this. It actually bounces the SUV back instead of crashing through the glass. That's impressive engineering. What a good build. So did the officer explain why he tried to crash through the front of the restaurant? Because at first I thought it'd be an accident, but this is clearly deliberate. He made no attempt to slow down or anything, really, it doesn't seem like. He just zooms through like it's GTA Online. It's insane the car is flying, Cazelli said on Tuesday. If I did this, I would be cited. It's unclear why the SUV swerved. James Pence, Morris' husband and another co-owner of the bar said police initially told him they had to swerve to miss a dog. Officers later recanted and said they swerved to miss a parked car, the same explanation that police gave reporters. This parked car? Brother, I got news for you. If you have to swerve to miss this parked car, you shouldn't be behind the wheel. It's a parked car on a road with literally nothing on it. This is like the road outside of Courage the Cowardly Dog's house. There is nothing here. So if you had to swerve to miss this, you're either drunk driving or a terrible driver. He's a hero, don't you get it? True, I guess. I didn't even think of that. This is quite the stunt. Though I guess he's already out of control. Like, for some reason, it looks like he's already lost control of the vehicle, because he is kind of beelining towards that car, so maybe he really did swerve to miss it. I don't know why he tried to throw in a dog excuse. But why is he already losing control of his vehicle? Police did not respond to multiple requests for more information about the incident and Cazelli's accusations. They denied a Sunshine request for dashcam footage of the incident, citing an active investigation. Man, that dashcam's gonna go hard. This is the aftermath. Looks like all of the framing's made out of wood. That's some strong wood. Mahogany, no doubt. The door didn't even budge. Didn't even make it to the door. This fine hard wood stopped it. Didn't even break the glass on it. I read a bit further about this after stream just because I was extremely curious as to how the officers would explain crashing into the bar like this, like it's some kind of Dukes of Hazzard moment. And there still isn't any real answers.
Mike and Kelly, we still really don't have many answers from police, and the bar owners say this was really scary for them. Their friends, however, have been very supportive, and tonight they supported them in the best way they knew how, which meant opening the bar, damages and all.
A power move reopening the bar in the condition that it's in. It's going to look like a bar out of the Fallout universe, but hats off to them for it. Now, initially they claimed that they arrested one of the owners after blasting through the wall like the Kool-Aid man because it was a situation where the owner was resisting arrest. The officer claimed that he had been struck by the owner, which caused him to be off balance, which gave him probable cause to arrest the owner.
Surveillance video shows a St. Louis police vehicle crashing into the front of the bar.
I was loud. I was very vocal. But I never did anything to make any officer feel like I was trying to harm them or anything. I wanted to know why there was a police vehicle sitting in my building.
Which I think is a pretty reasonable response given the situation. They apparently live above the bar, which means they would have heard this happen, and they probably assume they got hit by a fucking missile. So I think that is a perfectly warranted natural response given the circumstances. You're woken up to this loud explosion downstairs, you know, like, hey, Buster, what's going on? Why did you crash your vehicle into my business, bub? Come on. Jiminy Christmas. Like, you would have probably thought you got hit by a drone strike or something. And then you just see this SUV halfway through your business. Now, luckily they invested in some of the highest quality wood the fucking United States has ever seen, so it didn't get all the way through into the bar and like bust everything up. It was mainly just damage to the front. But even still, that's pretty scary and confusing, so it makes sense he would be loud.
Pence was briefly detained by officers at the very tense scene, but Morris was arrested, charged with multiple felonies, including assaulting a police officer, and held without bond.
There's currently no evidence to confirm the officer's side of the story that he was assaulted by the owners or anything like that. And the charges that were brought against him initially have already been reduced, but the lawyer that's representing them isn't satisfied with just misdemeanor charges being on the table. He wants the whole thing dropped. He says this is a bunch of baloney. He says that they actually have a video that confirms that the police were the aggressors, and from a couple of the articles I read, they reference another video that doesn't show any type of physical confrontation between the owners and the officers. So if this video exists, it should help prove that the owners were not in the wrong in any way. The only thing that is confirmed is that the owners were yelling, which again I think is totally understandable, given an SUV just crashed into their building in the middle of the night, scaring the bejesus out of everybody. Yelling about your business being attacked by a police SUV out of nowhere like a jump scare is not grounds for an arrest. So the attorney on Twitter is saying that they have a video to confirm there was never any physical confrontation. From some of the articles I've read, there's other videos that exist that also don't show any kind of like assault on the officer or anything like that. Now, if you want my theory here, I think the officer was extremely embarrassed with his awful driving, and after hitting the building, immediately went into action movie mode. So the airbag deploys, blasts him in the face, maybe semi-concusses him, and then he's in a war zone in his brain at that point. So he pops open the door and does a combat rollout. He takes one knee, pistol drawn, he's got his service pistol out, analyzing the situation, and then all of a sudden the owners start yelling, and I think he was already in so deep that he felt like he needed to make an arrest or something. Like, that's what I think. I think it all stems from the shame of being such a dog shit driver that he ran into this fucking building. That's my theory. I don't think the owners assaulted the officer. I do think they were definitely yelling at him, which they had every right to do, but I don't think there was any actual assaulting of the officer here. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to cover this situation a little bit because that footage of the police SUV hitting like this mean drift into the building out of nowhere for no reason had me scratching my head wondering how everything's going to pan out from this point forward. That is probably the worst driver the police academy has ever put behind the wheel of a police vehicle, I've got to say. So yeah, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's really about it. Oh yeah, also, one more thing. Whoever built the front of that building really needs to capitalize off this situation and start saying like, hey, We were responsible for that super durable, super strong, indestructible build that blocked an SUV from getting through. If you've been around this channel for a long time, you'll know that I've always enjoyed diving into the insanity that Kickstarter offers from time to time, just looking at some of the more outrageous product pitches. And today someone sent me this Kickstarter pitch claiming that it's the worst one the site has ever seen, to which I rolled my eyes and scoffed like an anime villain. The horrors I've seen on that site, I'm like a war veteran of Cringe with PTSD, just remembering things like the Air Umbrella and Michael Superbacker, God bless. But I still decided to take a peek, so I dusted my shoulders off and decided to dive in, and interestingly enough, it is very bad. I don't know if I'd call it the worst. It's pretty awful, but I don't know if it's the worst I've ever seen. But I thought it'd be still fun to dive into it, because this kind of content's something I haven't made in a while, so it'll be a nice little blast from the past for your ass.
There's more truth in here than what we're reading in the papers. Observe the millennials, the YOLOs, Generation Y, or why the fuck not, thinking they're special because mom and dad and their 5th grade teacher told them so. Armed with participation trophies and branded apparel to encourage superiority.
I think with just the first 15 seconds, you can immediately get the vibe behind this pitch. It's trying to suckle off of the cock of the Andrew Tate tough love formula, where it's like, everybody is a sensitive snowflake in today's society. Generation Y? More like Generation why the fuck are you still a bitch? Participation trophies out the wazoo, no one knows how to be a man anymore, no one knows how to think for themselves. Everyone you see is an NPC, just a zombie sleepwalking through life. Don't be like them. Buy my coffee. Like, he's immediately doing exactly what he's upset at the rest of the world for doing, being pretentious. That's this entire ad. Just some pretentious douchebaggery.
Newsflash. We all got the fucking memo. We see straight through your crap. Exhibit A. Look at the self-proclaimed artiste over here. Looking like a lumberjack from the 1800s. Low-budget lumberjack.
Pardon me, huh? Jiminy Christmas, have you ever seen a lumberjack? How does this guy look like an 1800s low-budget lumberjack? He's clean-shaven with slicked-back gelled hair. What are you talking about? It's just all around one of the weakest insults he could have squeaked out of his mouth there, because it sucks shit through a crazy straw. Not only does he not look like a lumberjack, but if he did, you're giving him a compliment. Lumberjacks are cool. The number one image that immediately gets into people's head when asked to think about a masculine man is a lumberjack. Like a fucking grizzly, bearded man oozing testosterone out of every pore in his body, chopping wood. That's like the quintessential man stuff, not drinking coffee from Kickstarter. He's trying so hard but failing to be a bully. And I feel bad for all the actors in this pile of dog shit, because all they do is stand there and let him go around and insult them. And they're not even insults, like he's just really bad at it, but it must have been so uncomfortable because I know they had no idea what this gig was going to entail, but they already showed up on set and were getting paid, so they just said, we'll let it rip. And it was probably extremely hard to not laugh at this guy being so bad at making insults.
I bet he's never even held an axe a day in his life. And what are these? Even your blindness is fake. Do you think your tattoos make you a coffee connoisseur? You realize that your devotion to non-conformity actually makes you conform. It's hypocrisy and flannel.
What are you yapping about? Do you think your tattoos make you a coffee connoisseur? Where is that coming from? What delusional dimension is your brain inhabiting? Come back to reality. Come back to us. I have tattoos, and I don't drink coffee. It's not like people get tattoos because all of a sudden it's going to make them a coffee expert or something. I don't know what tree he's barking up with that thought process, but it is confusing, to say the least. He's just blabbering on about some nonsense mumbo-jumbo and trying to, like, insult the people around him. Now, all of this is to sell his coffee, which is supposed to be the world's strongest coffee, which I guess he may have succeeded at, according to his Kickstarter page. One 12 fluid ounce cup of his coffee apparently contains 702 milligrams of caffeine, which is more than the other competitor, Death Wish, at 660. Over 700 milligrams of caffeine in a single 12-ounce cup is absurd. The Panera Bread lemonade wouldn't kill you as fast as this would. To put in perspective how much caffeine that is, if you consume 1,200 milligrams of caffeine in a pretty short period of time, you are likely to experience caffeine toxicity, which can be fatal. So if you drank 2 cups of his coffee, it'll just send you straight to heaven to meet your maker. You'll sail into Valhalla with insomnia coffee being the thing that killed you. What an embarrassing way to go. Why would you ever want a 700 milligram caffeine beverage? At that point, just do meth. Meth would actually be safer and more healthy for you than drinking his coffee. That is so mind-boggling.
But you don't give a fuck about individualism like flannel fuck over here. No. You're a clone. With enough creatine, protein, and self-loathing to keep your arms inflated and your dick shriveling. He's been keeping an eye on that Insta Slut's ads for a while now. I think I saw him whimper at it.
The insecurity he's projecting with this scene in particular is just pathetic. Like, beyond embarrassing. This should not have made the final cut. This should have absolutely been scrapped ASAP. Oh, look at you. Drinking protein shakes, taking creatine, making your wiener shrivel up. What are you talking about? That's not what happens. He's just drinking protein shakes and taking creatine. That's not going to have any effect on his pee-pee size. Like, his penis is the exact same size, but now he is an overall more muscular man. More than you. Oh, all that self-loathing. You must be doing it because you're not comfortable in your own skin. You should be like me. No muscle mass and drinking 700 milligrams of caffeine every hour. And with my insomnia coffee, huh? That's what you should be. That's what a real man does. Drinking coffee to wash away all the pain and sorrow. Not lifting weights and drinking protein, idiot. And you were looking at sluts or something. He is just genuinely so bad at this shtick. Because he's just choosing things that are good. Being a lumberjack, being in shape and taking care of your body, and trying to portray them as a bad thing somehow, like, it makes no sense. He is actually horrible at trying to get across this, like, tough machismo, drink my coffee kind of thing. My coffee will make you a real man. Not like this guy who lifts weights.
Speaking of, behold, the voice of the common man. She's studying a magna cum laude in absolute fuckery. Purebred vegan. Drove down here in a Mini Cooper. Hit a dog on the way. If it wasn't a child. But don't worry. Daddy will pay for the dent. Stop taking relationship advice from misspelled Facebook posts. You need to realize no amount of Instagram followers, no amount of Twitter likes or retweets are gonna make up for the fact that you don't have a personality.
Oh, it's so cringe. Going into like this edgy fanfic about this girl now. Oh, you hit a dog, or maybe a child, on the way here. But your dad's gonna pay for the dent. And then he goes with the cliche, no amount of Twitter likes or Instagram followers is gonna make up for no personality, you harpy, harlot. Oh, it's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. Like, the actors, I can't believe they're actually able to keep it together. Maybe this is like the 40th take, so now they're just like tired and they're just doing everything they can to get the fuck out of there. Because there's no way you wouldn't be breaking character here laughing at the cringe.
How the fuck does she keep that shit down? Look, I'm not perfect. But at least I don't hide behind a veil of pretense like these fake fucks. We're tired of the facade. Who are we really? Wake the fuck up.
Ooh, so profound. What a sign-off. Wake the fuck up, samurai. Straight out of Cyberpunk. Really tried and missed. What a big old L of a Kickstarter pitch that was. What are you talking about, man? You're making coffee. Out of every character type he tries to shoot spitballs at, out of every trope he tries to insult in his pitch, he is by far the fakest out of all of them. He is the one with the facade. You're not more awake or better than anyone else just because you're consuming 700 milligrams of caffeine that's coursing through your veins like Bane's venom from Batman. Like, it's so silly. Well, just, if you want to make the world's strongest coffee, go for it and try and sell it on that merit, as opposed to go up this weird alley here with, like, it's time to wake up, and the only way to do that is by never sleeping again with 700 milligrams worth of caffeine in every cup of our coffee. It's so silly. I just had to make fun of this. Something I'm sure he understands. That was his whole ad, just making fun of people. So, I'm making fun of the pretentious businessman who thinks his coffee is somehow making him superior to everyone else around him when it comes to intelligence and enlightenment and waking up. What a fucking joke. That's really about it. See ya. I just watched an extremely interesting and very sad video about the production of disposable vapes. I didn't even know there were disposable vapes. That just sounds like it opens up a whole can of worms, just a plethora of issues. That is just the biggest middle finger to Mother Earth I could imagine. But anyway, the video comes from a YouTube channel named Machina. And there's one position that gets highlighted that blew me away. A role that I couldn't have even imagined as a joke existing. A professional vape taste tester. At least I think it's taste testing. There is an individual who smokes every single vape that comes through the production. Up to like 10,000 or more vapes at peak days.
So this step kind of blows my mind. Our friend here is testing each one of them. I'm not sure if it's for taste or volume or I'm not sure precisely what. I'm also curious if he is inhaling or if it's like a cigar, just quick taste test and exhale.
这些都没问题吗？你一天大概能测多少个？
一天大概要测平均7、8千吧。
7、8千，多的时候呢？
多的时候就1万多。
This dude's eating the vape Logia devil fruit here. His whole body has become vape smoke. He's like a real-life smoker from One Piece. That is absurd. I don't even know when oxygen has a chance to enter his lungs here. Like, there's only a brief respite between smoking 50 vapes per batch there, writing it down, and then getting the next batch of 50. Like, 8,000 or 10,000 taste tests of vape per day? That's unfathomable. That actually just seems like torture, and it's entirely unnecessary. Like, you don't need someone to be taste testing each vape. Like, on the box, do they say, like, this has been tested and tasted by our certified professional vape master, our vape connoisseur, our sommelier? I doubt it. So what is the point? All you're doing is jeopardizing this person's health and anyone else who has this role in other vape production companies, if this is a common role. Or maybe it's exclusive to this one. I don't know for sure. This is my first time learning about disposable vape industry.
你自己平时抽吗？那你下班之后还抽吗？
下班之后。
Even after huffing thousands of vapes per day, he still vapes after work, just for the love of the sport. Not even on the clock for the job. He just still vapes. That is a brutal addiction. Now, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, if you purchase these vapes, does that mean all of them have been sucked on by someone at the production line? And the answer is yes, but they have an additional sanitization procedure, apparently.
It is worth noting that there is a final sterilization step that happens before the vapes get packaged up and sent out for consumers to purchase.
There's no footage of this sanitization process that the vapes undergo, so there's no telling what exactly it consists of. Maybe it's something super simple, like, hey, we got a position filled by our buddy Frank, and he takes his shirt and he wipes down the mouthpiece of every single vape to get all the germs off from where the taste tester was sucking on it. So don't even worry, it's been thoroughly cleaned and disinfected. But it's more than likely that they do have like a pretty standard sanitization protocol that I imagine most companies probably have. They just don't show it here. Now, the reason I believe that he is taste testing the vapes is because Machina interviewed the owner of the factory and said this.
就像对于某些岗位，我们是必须他要会从电子烟品控啊、你口味测试啊、调香啊，对吧？同一个口味，但是有一些很细微的不一样的东西，我会问他这个跟这个它的区别在哪里，看他会不会抽得出来。比如说这个微凉，或者这个稍微有一点尾调啊、发火啊什么之类的一些很细微的东西，我们会给到他去抽。
So to me, that says that the employee that's smoking all the vapes up to 10,000 a day is testing each one and then noting how the flavor balances and like what it makes them feel and making sure that the flavor is what it's supposed to be. So that's the impression I get. But this whole idea of a vape taste tester is so fucking outrageous. It reminds me of this legend that spread like 10 years ago. There was this myth that went around about a sex toy company. I can't remember which one now. It might have been Bad Dragon. I can't recall. But there was this story that got circulated about how every single sex toy that was sold by that company, each individual unit was tested by the owner to ensure that you could fuck it properly or it could fuck you properly. And that was like the stamp of approval. That was the seal of quality assurance. I don't know the authenticity there. I don't know if those claims are true or not. I don't know if there really is like the Fleshlight fuck master who's like grading each individual unit or whatever. But that was, for a long time, something that circulated about that company. I just can't remember which one it was now. But the point is, that position sounds like a fucking joke. And so does professional vape taste tester. But it turns out that's a real thing. I feel horrible for anyone that is having to huff thousands upon thousands of vapes per day. That's craziness. I feel horrible for every single worker here. All of the employees at this factory, my heart breaks for. One thing Machina noted is that there's a lack of automation with the production. And that's apparently attributed to like how much is going into each vape, that it would require very specific machines and very customized tools to do. So instead, they've opted to hire workers to just do it instead. And I've got a sneaking suspicion that this factory isn't paying its workers very well here.
其实工厂端其实也是围绕一个大环境去设计一些产品。现在英国啊、欧洲那边已经开始重视了一个污染的问题。所以我们在后续的一些产品呢，可能会用到一些更环保的一些材质，去做烟的一个提升啊，以及说更多可能就是说换弹式啊、大弧数啊、重复注油的产品，可能也是为了一个发展的方向。
This is a little off the subject of the vape taste tester, but I was very curious about this whole disposable vape thing. So Machina did ask the owner the question about the environmental impact of disposable vapes. And it starts talking about like, well, maybe in the future we'll start having like refillable products or using more environmentally friendly products. Maybe I'm just senile on the crazy pills, but I was under the impression that all vapes were already like reusable and refillable products. Like you had to go out of your way to make them disposable. So you're just kind of going backwards. It should, like, in my opinion, it should have never been disposable in the first place. Of course, I'm no expert here. My only experience with vaping is when I did it for a video like 5 years ago when I was trying vaping trick shots, where I was like smoking vapes in all kinds of different fashions through all kinds of different apparatus and doing all kinds of different gyrations and movements and trying to make smoke tricks out of it. I'm not an avid vaping enthusiast or anything, but I was under the impression that a big selling point of vapes is how you could just have one vape for a long time and you don't need to just keep going out and buying cigarettes or something. You could just like keep refilling the vape. Maybe I'm totally wrong though, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a bit. That's it. See ya. What is the worst hotel in Tampa? A question that's plagued the mind of scholars for years, and it's a question I desperately wanted an answer to. And the only way to find that answer is to get my hands dirty. So I conducted an investigation. The hotel that we found is the lowest ranked in all of Tampa, and it's also the cheapest. At least when it comes to a whole stay. It's $50 for an entire stay. There are some cheaper options, but they're pay by the hour. So you can find some for like 10 to 15 an hour, but the cheapest overall stay is this one. Now, almost all of the reviews talk about blood being all over the sheets and walls, as well as a huge problem with bed bugs. So I wasn't going to risk taking bed bugs home or anything. I decided I wasn't going to take any chances. I was going to play it safe, so I dressed for a goddamn apocalypse. I looked like an NPC out of Fallout. Hey, we went to the cheapest hotel by night. It's $50 a night.
It's ranked 170 out of 170 hotels.
The reason we're in hazmat attire is because most of the reviews report an excessive amount of bed bugs and blood in the rooms. So, yeah.
Well, that's what hazmat suits are for.
To prevent that.
But yeah, you saw the most expensive in Tampa, so we figured we'd switch it up a little
to the least expensive. And I think the hotel is somewhat aware of their ranking because Danny said when he was signing, they have a strict clause to not talk about them in general or you get kicked out. Blinds, air unit set to a comfortable 63 degrees. 2 beds, which is more than the penthouse suite
This
at a 5-star resort.
And you know what? This is as much a king bed as theirs was.
That's super true.
I turn the lights on. Oh yeah.
Well, it's a Jack and Jill. This is a Jack.
Right.
That's a Jill.
Gotcha. That's how that works.
You can tell by the hexagons. This is a boy's bed.
The burn marks and the...
You just touched it with your bare hands.
Oh,
she'll sit on
Oh!
I'm just kidding.
it. They're gonna send police up to the room.
What the fuck is that? Well, that was.
You wanna do a bed bug inspection? See if there's anything you can see.
Now, this was part of a video we were filming for the other channel, where we spun a wheel to see who amongst our friends would stay at that $10,000 a night hotel we made a video on last week, where we were investigating if it's actually a scam, because there's a lot of claims that it's truly horrible, especially for $10K a night. And spoiler alert, it is a scam, but it's not, unlivable or anything. Like, it's not awful. It's just truly not worth that price at all, under any circumstance. I don't know what fucking crazy pills they're boofing in the bathroom to come up with that price for that penthouse suite, but I'm getting sidetracked again. Anyway, it was for the other channel, where half of us would stay in the $10,000 a night hotel, and the other half would stay at the cheapest and lowest rated hotel in Tampa. And Matt, Chelsea, Danny, and I got there before the group that was going to stay for the other channel, just to check it out, to see, is it like as bad as the reviews say? Now, if you want to see the whole video, go to the other channel. I highly recommend seeing how all of this played out. Yeah, so, Matt, if you... Here.
There's not an iron in here, so we can't use that trick.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have your vape, right? You can blow smoke on it, and it'll make the bed bugs come
like
out.
a beehive.
It's heat. You have to, like... that's how they
come over here.
I'm coming.
I don't think that's a bed bug, but zoom in.
No, you wouldn't find just like a single rogue bed bug. It's not ant's life.
Oh, okay.
I think that might just be unidentified something.
Yeah, so they're like kind of blood red from what I've seen.
Oh, wait, what's that?
Blood!
That's blood?
Our first piece of blood!
Okay.
Actual blood.
Is that a centipede?
Or is that a poop?
It's moving.
Okay, so what you're supposed to do is you take this up. Oh, wow, there's 2 layers.
That's probably for the best. There's a lot of...
Oh, a lot of mystery fluid.
That is a lot of mystery fluid.
Holy fuck, that's gross.
Alright, bed number 2. What do you have in store for us?
I mean, there is just a lot of... Oh, blood.
Oh, there's more blood, yeah.
More blood.
Not even kidding.
Oh my god.
So maybe the second half of the TOC's video is canceled.
Yeah, so
maybe we just have them come do a tour and then we all leave.
Spoiler alert, we had, for the other channel video, we we spun a wheel, and 4 of us stayed in an expensive hotel. That was what you saw last time. 4 of us are staying at the least expensive hotel, and I'm kind of concerned.
Is there a Bible in there?
Mm-mm.
We get
God does
God's
not
not
come
allowed.
here.
Do we get a hazard pay for this?
I think so.
Oh, well, here, wait, we can fix this. Where's the blood?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's good enough to sleep on.
Here, I'll get this one.
See, decontaminated. Also, this one's doesn't have like that cover on it.
Oh. So that's definitely the one you don't want to sleep on.
Do you think the bathroom looks the same?
I don't even know why you need it if you can just piss all over your bed.
Also, I am certain...
I'm sticking to the floor.
Yeah.
Let's look at the bathroom and then
yeah, I haven't gotten the
blacklight
full
everything.
Okay, hold on, I'm lifting this up. I want to see if there's mystery.
Imagine it's just like a fucking fallout bug.
It's touching me.
I think you
Oh, shit. Imagine like a person. Wait, there was something under there.
Was there?
Not like something alive, but like just something under there. I didn't see what it was. What is that?
That is
Is it
absolutely...
a pill?
That is a pill.
Score!
Oh, we got Coke!
That is an actual...
That's a bag of Coke!
I cannot believe we actually just found a bag of Coke in here.
That's so good.
Lift it up.
Yeah,
No,
Chelsea, we're putting that back.
No, let me. Is it actually just Coke or what is it?
You're touching with your bare hands.
Oh no, that's actually.
Oh, it is crack.
Oh, is that crack?
Oh, it is a crack rock.
Matt, I want to go home.
Hey, fist bump, we did it.
Hey, I'm gonna...
Yeah, put that back before the dealer comes. What? Wondering where his stash is.
Right, he's gonna be really worried about
Okay,
that
wait,
$40
Matt.
bag.
Unfortunately, we had to blur the crack so you don't get to see like the full bag of the big crack rock or anything. We had to play it safe with YouTube because they do have strict rules about showing hard drugs. The reason Vice is able to get away with it is because theirs is for education. I don't think you could really make a convincing argument with a straight face that this video is educational, so we had to blur it. Throughout my life, I've stayed at tons of cheap motels and hotels, and they're not, like, amazing or anything, but they're always serviceable. Like, they're always totally fine. I never have, like, a bad experience at a cheap hotel or motel. And I have stayed at hotels that get close to the $50 ballpark. This is unlike anything I've ever seen, though. A fucking crack rock was under the mattress, and the sheets were just in blood. Like, they just had blood on them. Like, they weren't covered in blood. I was going to exaggerate saying that, but it's not like the sheets had, like, you know, brain matter on it or anything crazy. But there was blood on the sheets. And noticeably, too. It's not just, like, a couple of tiddlywinks here. Like, no, there was, like, some blood streaks on the sheets. The mattresses were by far the most disgusting part of the room. The bathroom had, like, a couple bugs in it, but that's not that big of a deal to me personally. And even, like, the sink and all that, also not horrible. It's just the mattresses, it seems like they don't actually clean the rooms at all, based on the two rooms we checked here. So it was this room and the one you're going to see here in a moment. Like, they just leave the sheets in whatever state that they were found in, pretty much. So some of the sheets had, like, burn holes going straight to the mattress, like, all the way through to the mattress. Blood on every single sheet that we saw on all 4 of the beds that we looked at. It's crazy.
Okay, this one's clean. This one's clean.
Alright, let me show you the kitchen.
What the fuck?
We just found a crack rock. It's so cool.
What do you think's in the top of a fridge?
That's where they're hiding the other crack.
Well, that's where you put the ice in.
You want to open the fridge?
The fridge is disgusting. Make sure you get the top of the fridge too, yeah.
The top of the... Oh, you mean the hole?
Yeah.
I feel like we need masks.
This is... Yeah, there's
I don't even think I want to go... Here, Danny, go look.
Okay, I'm gonna go check in the bathroom. Oh, this is cool.
This is where someone tried to break in, I think.
We're out. What you got for me, big guy?
Well, our fan is doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can we actually rewind a second ago? I think I blacked out. We just found crack.
Yes, we did actually just find
That's
real
so
crack.
Cool.
Are we... Do we have to, like, report it? Or are we,
I don't...
Like, are we gonna get in trouble?
Do we have to go?
Do we have to leave right now?
Don't be a bunch of babies, it's fine.
But are we...
Because now we have video evidence of us finding crack and then putting it back. I seriously, like, what actually do we do?
Can we supply Mikado?
Guys, does the bathroom have its own light in there?
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Do the pillows?
Oh, ew. Yucky.
Okay.
Actually super yucky. Ew.
Okay, do under the under the bed.
Lift. No, God. Have mercy.
It's not as bad. Oh, there's a crack rock.
So, crack doesn't glow. Don't do drugs, kids. They're not glowing.
You wanna do the bathroom?
Yeah. One thing about this room, I think we've already passed it, but is that 15 minutes after, you're allowed to get a refund, and I'm not kidding.
No, you cannot get a refund after 15 minutes.
After, right.
Yeah,
You have 15 minutes to get a
refund.
refund. So when you notice the blood, if you figure like, hey, that's kind of gross.
So you have to get in and find the crack and get out within 15 minutes so you can get your money back.
Whose coming on here.
Wait, leave it on it for a second so I can see.
It's probably not cum. It's probably
Go back
like
to the big one on the left.
spit and shit.
There's like actual stuff there. Bathroom.
That was my first crack rock.
That was also my first crack rock.
Oh wait,
Hey,
do
do I
you
go
guys
on?
see the batteries for the door and everything?
Oh wow.
So, spoiler alert, we might not be staying here for very long.
Yep.
Second spoiler alert.
Here, I'll show 'em.
This is the TOC guys. Hey,
these are the guys
we were lost.
We're
excited. We found our entertainment for the evening. Are you guys ready?
Lift the corner up for me, Charlie. Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Okay.
Do not touch.
Don't touch.
Was that included in the price of the room?
No, we got it for free.
You get a cool office chair on this one. Can we go lights on?
The crusty
lights on.
I took my gloves off, so
right back.
Charlie's working single one.
Oh, you know what I have?
Those are cool. What do you have?
I just have a handkerchief.
Is
I'm a
it
gentleman.
just
Hey, you know what I don't have? A lock for the door.
No, you can just stand like that.
Yeah, this doesn't work, and this isn't.
Well, that's why they give you a chair.
Guys, I found the smoke detector.
Oh,
I found the smoke detector.
The replacement. Like, I don't know.
Oh no.
What's that?
There's socks in a random wrapper for something.
Is that lube? That's lube. That's lube.
That's a lube wrapper.
Yeah, I mean, you come here to either do drugs or cheat on
Put the
your
camera in my face for that.
Chelsea,
there's a
lube
lube
wrapper,
wrapper.
Chelsea.
Oh, those are goon socks.
We found goon socks. Crusty
Poop
socks.
sock.
Oh!
We found poop sock.
You think that's the top of a
The
tank?
cum sock.
Okay, well, let's open the
That's a
door.
very,
Holy shit.
Yeah, someone's having a great time.
Lift the corner.
Yeah,
Look for
bed
crack.
inspection.
Check for crack.
Yeah, that's how it's.
Oh, I thought we were gonna find it for a
Checking
second.
for recreationals. What's that?
I don't know.
That's a bed.
I don't know.
Good.
All right, this one.
This was the crack bed in that one.
Yeah.
So.
Flipping it. Oh, blood.
Yep.
Yeah, a little.
That's a good sign.
Stain.
Ready? Give it a little lift.
The lights work better in here.
Yeah, very bright.
That's good.
Wow.
No crack. This is a boring room.
The 206
The
is.
air vent in there might be taped on.
I don't.
For more.
There's no content here.
There's gold and then there are hills. We can find crack in these mattresses, I swear it.
Do you?
No, just the fridge.
That's cool.
God.
Oh, they have the same art feature in here.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh, there's even a, that's for flossing.
The muscles on this guy.
This one's clean. Oh, it's not clean.
Never mind.
I was so hopeful.
Here, I'll check
I
this
was so
bed
over here.
Oh, that is just gross.
Oh, jeez.
There's a stain over here.
Charlie, you want to pull back the?
Oh, did you take your protective glove off?
Yeah, he took his.
And I'm feeling it. You know when you're taking
my
like
handkerchief
poison
off?
damage in Elden Ring?
It's gigamold. Oh, this is hair.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
We can
Oh
clone.
wait, we didn't check.
He goes,
the
"This is hair."
pillowcases.
Pulls out a whole decapitated
We
head.
should, wait, pull the pillow out of the case. I want to see what it looks like.
but I don't have gloves.
Here, Charlie.
Here,
pillow.
Well, Charlie, our ass man.
He has gloves.
It's just an actual.
like a man is gonna jump out of it. I'm sorry.
And we ended up going here, and I go in a room, and there's crack. And then I go in the next room, and there's crack.
no
Here,
crack.
here, wait.
What's up with that?
No, I'm desperate.
It's a little biased.
Can we get a room without crack?
Every room should get
And
crack.
they say yes.
Yeah, so after checking out 2 of the rooms there, the reviews really start to make a lot of sense. Honestly, the rooms are kind of like loot boxes for crack. You might get some if you get like a good pull, and you might not. It's really a coin flip. In that second room, I couldn't show it on video, but there was an empty dime bag. Could have been crack, could have been coke. There's really no telling. But yeah, the lowest ranked hotel in Tampa probably deserves its placement there. It does not seem like they even do the bare minimum of cleaning up the rooms. There were goon socks in the second room. That's crazy. Actual cum socks in the second room. And again, more blood all over the sheets. Not all over the sheets. Blood on the sheets. Blood, dripped here and there on the sheets. Which I think is probably just unacceptable. Like, I don't think there's an amount of blood I'd be comfortable with on the sheets of the hotel I'm staying at, you know what I mean? But we did not see any bed bugs to the naked eye, though from what I've read about bed bugs, since I've never actually seen them in real life, apparently the only time you see them, like, without any kind of equipment and without any, like, heat drawing them out is if you have a crazy infestation of bed bugs. But I don't know how true that is. Anyway, though, Yeah, I think we found the worst hotel in Tampa. That's about it. See ya.